For NFL players shows degenerative brain disease is more common than you might think. 16 WAPT's Earl talked to players and a doctor about this study. Earl.
Well, Keegan, Megan, in that study, 110 out of 111 players were found to have CTE. But even that isn't enough to scare off those I talked to who instead see the benefit of playing sports.
This is one of my Houston Oilers jerseys.
Jackson native Vernon Perry played 7 years of professional football in the NFL and in Canada. He says he's not surprised by the results of the study and thinks he would have played differently if players back then knew the dangers of football.
If I knew that, I probably would have slacked up a little. I wouldn't have hit the guys as hard as I was hitting them because it really does something to the brain.
Perry says he, as well as other former players, struggle with memory loss. Although they may have not known the risk, former Ole Miss linebacker Terry Caldwell does, but says he's currently looking for a shot to play pro football.
Coming in, playing the sport, I kind of knew what came with it. And just with any sport, injuries is something that does come with it. So that's just one risk I would be willing to take.
Despite all the risk factors that come with playing football, one UMMC researcher says she's not ready to give up on the sport just yet.
I am all on board for team sports.
Dr. Jennifer Reneker specializes in neuro research and says the reward of physical activity outweigh the risk factors of head injuries. She says team doctors and parents should monitor their own kids for injuries outside of their coaches to ensure they're healthy to play.
If they suspect that something is wrong with their child at the time that they have suffered a concussion, that they just aren't getting up quite as quick or they seem like they're not quite right, they need to step in and say, my kid should not be playing until I get a medical evaluation.
Dr. Reneker says emphasis should be put on proper techniques that prevent serious injury. Perry says even knowing what he knows now, he would still want to play football.
If I had to play it all over again, I would do it for nothing.
Dr. Reneker says researchers are still unsure exactly when signs of CTE start, so more studies are needed when athletes beginning when they are children. Live in the studio, Earl, 16 WAPT News.